All right, what's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. Late night video, and it's a video that I was expecting. I didn't expect it to come out today, but it is what it is. But Richard Sherman is the official co-host of Undisputed. Uh, News just broke out today, and I just want to point you guys to this video on my channel, RJ Sports Facts. Richard Sherman should be the replacement for Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed. I posted this 2 months ago. Don't know the exact date. And some people agreed, some people disagree, but I called it out first. Richard Sherman is replacing Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed. That was the only thing that made sense. That's the reason why I made that video. Skip Bayless needs a black athlete to combat with. Because number one, you need a black athlete to talk about race and being woke and all this other stuff. Number two, specifically, Skip's whole thing is the Cowboys and football and stuff like that. You have Richard Sherman, who went up against the Cowboys, who had fierce battles against the Cowboys. So Richard Sherman can play that whole I hate the Cowboys thing that Shannon Sharpe does. And I'm pretty sure Richard Sherman is in tune with the NBA. I mean, Shannon Sharpe was a tight end and was on CBS or NBC or whichever one of those networks that he was on talking about football. And he acts like he's like the hugest LeBron fan and stuff like that. I mean, Richard Sherman acts like he's woke. He acts like he's socially conscious and stuff like that. So he can act like he loves LeBron and stuff like that. So he can take up this Shannon role pretty good. He's a loud mouth. He can. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Shannon, but hey, it works. I mean, Skip Bayless is dang near his in the 70s. He has like a good 3 to 4 years left. Richard Sherman has his own YouTube channel, and I showed it in the video that I made a couple months back, where his YouTube channel, I mean, he has subscribers for being Richard Sherman, but he doesn't have like subscribers. He doesn't have the Shannon Sharpe subscribers. You know what I'm saying? This is a good way for Richard Sherman to build his brand. Take a 3 to 4 year deal. Fox News must have paid him, not Fox News, Fox Sports must have paid him all the money to say just ride out the rest of the Skip Bayless train, let him go off in the sunset after your contract. You get notoriety, or you never know. Maybe Fox News said after Skip is gone, Undisputed is yours. You can bring out whoever you want. And if not, Richard Sherman gets all the notoriety that Shannon Sharpe got. It's a win-win situation for both. That's why I made that video, to honestly make it made true. People were saying Stephen A. Smith. I'm like, there's no way Stephen A. Smith's leaving Undisputed. Not Undisputed, ESPN, aka First Take. He runs that show. He runs Undisputed. I mean, besides maybe the commentators like, Eli and Peyton and Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who are all commentators, what analysts on there outranks Stephen A? Kendrick Perkins, Richard Jefferson, Malika Andrews, Max Kellerman just got fired. Jalen Rose just got fired. I almost did a video saying Skip Bayless's next partner might be Jalen Rose because they have some history there. Jalen Rose is a former athlete. He could probably talk about football just as much as basketball if he puts in the time. But I stuck with my guns and I said Richard Sherman, and it ended up being Richard Sherman. And now Richard Sherman is going to be the next co-host for the Undisputed show. And you know what? Let's see what happens. It's coming out end of this month, August 28th. You never know. You never know, man. I mean, who else was out there? I heard the news that no one really wants to work with Skip, which I understand because Skip's an idiot. He's a clown. He's dog water. He looks like a mummy that should have been dead years ago. But at the same time, I think Richard Sherman looked at the money. He looked at what happened to Shannon Sharpe, and he said, let me hop on that board. Let me do that. Let me be the co-host and take on Skip Bayless. And I'm going to predict the first show right now. The first show of Undisputed is not even going to be about, they're going to talk about sports probably later, but they're going to talk about the whole controversy with Skip Bayless and Shannon, the whole Skip Bayless and Richard Sherman thing that happened years ago. Let me see if I can look it up right here. Bam, right there. Well, let me get a bigger picture. Is this a bigger picture? There we go. Anybody who remembers this on First Take when Richard Sherman went on and roasted the crap out of Shannon, Skip Bayless, calling him an idiot, calling him a clown, saying he's better than him. Which Richard Sherman, he is better than Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless averaged like 2.7 points in high school, college basketball, or whatever he was playing high school basketball. Whatever Skip does, I don't know what Skip is, but this is what the first show is going to be about. They're going to probably talk about this and see what happens. They're going to talk about, they have so many rooms to work with. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Honestly, this is a good pickup for FS1. This is a really good pickup for FS1. Richard Sherman has a following. He's a Hall of Fame. Richard Sherman's going to the Hall of Fame. Come on. Richard Sherman's going to the Hall of Fame. He's a well-liked athlete. Well-known athlete. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl winner. He's been to, I think, 3 Super Bowls. He was in the Super Bowl with the Seattle twice, and I think he went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, I believe. And wasn't he on that Super Bowl? He might have been to 4 Super Bowls. Wasn't he on the Super Bowl team with the Bucks? Was he on that team? I don't remember. But you got Skip Bayless, you got Richard Sherman going at it. You know what? I might tune in. Depending on how Richard Sherman takes this, I can't wait to see how the Cowboys are. And plus, the Cowboys play Seattle. The Cowboys play the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be an interesting show. They're going to talk about all the times Seattle whooped on the Cowboys when Tony Romo's Big 3 went up against the Legion of Boom. This is going to be I don't want to say it's going to be a good show. I don't want to go that far because, it is Skip Bayless, and we don't know how Richard Sherman is going to be under the lights. But, Richard Sherman does do good on YouTube. Now, granted, it is YouTube. You're in front of a screen. Now you're in front of millions of screens on millions of TVs in the world. But I think it's a good thing. And that's why in my video 2 months ago when I said Richard Sherman should be the replacement for Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed, that's why I said it. People were saying Stephen A. I was like, no, Stephen A. is not leaving. People said someone like an Acho or LaShawn McCoy. No, that's terrible. They're horrible. People said Max Kellerman. And I said you can't have race talk with 2 white guys talking about race. You need to have a black woke guy to act like he cares about stuff, a la Shannon Sharpe and now Richard Sherman. And you need to have a former athlete. Like Max Kellerman does not fit that. Max Kellerman is just some dude that was in New York trying to rap and wanted to be an athlete and wanted to be black, but he's I'm just leaving it at that. But listen, at the end of the day, man, listen. This must have been what Skip wanted because Skip has to sign off on it. Also, by the way, people said Michael Irvin. I'm sorry. There's no way Stephen A. Smith's letting Michael Irvin walk out the door, especially when football season's coming. The Cowboys are projected to be good. You think he's gonna let Michael Irvin walk out the door? And also, you need to have someone to combat Skip Bayless's meat riding of the Cowboys. And I think Shannon Sharpe, Richard Sherman, and Stephen A. back when they were on first take were great for that. It was great for that. But hey man, listen. Shout out to Richard Sherman, man. Shout out to Richard Sherman. I have nothing against Richard Sherman. I loved the Legion of Boom back in the day. Even though he acts like a woke idiot and stuff like that. Maybe it's just a gimmick, and we're going to probably see a lot more of that on Undisputed. But you know what? Shout out to Richard Sherman. Hope it all goes well. I hope you build something on YouTube. Hope you build your own business. Or you know what? If FS1 granted you a spot on national TV to be one of their guys, and I hope that is, man. I hope, you take over Undisputed when Skip Bayless goes back in his coffin. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. That's my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know your thoughts. I'm honestly kind of shocked. I called it right down the middle because people were saying Skip wasn't going to come back on until 2024. I saw something a few weeks ago that sent some of my boys saying that Richard Sherman was close to signing a deal with FS1, and I'm like, hey, my prediction might be coming right, but you gotta start thinking with your head, guys. You know what I'm saying? All this other dumb stuff. Well, let me know your thoughts and let me know. Will you be watching Undisputed? And are you excited for Undisputed? And what's your thoughts on this signing? What's your thoughts on Richard Sherman, Skip Bayless? And are you going to be watching August 28th? That's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ, out.